Streaming or
And
You're
streaming?
screaming. I was like,
I'm ready
so,
to start streaming if everybody else is.
okay, so we're going to go live on Facebook. So if you want to hide yourself, yeah, like Leanne. Leanne's walked away now, so we can only see her lamp. That's perfect. If you want to change your name, if you want to turn off your camera, change something, you have a moment here. Okay, we're going to go live now onto Facebook. Smile big.
Okay.
Okay, that's wonderful. You'll have to
Yeah,
show me how to do that.
Thank
magic.
you all for your patience and coming in to hang out with us. I'm excited to see you. A lot of familiar faces, a couple new ones here and there. So
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah. Val, did you have some words that you wanted to say to start us off?
I did. I had a little script for you guys. I really appreciate your patience and sorry about the technical issues. We had a room that was not available. So yeah, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone, even with this last minute change. Wow. So this is our first live Zoom event for the Bali IIT. And we also have the co-organizer here, Eric, who is, yeah, who's handling the LA IIT. So, and of course we have Jim and Jori Manske from Hawaii. Are you in Hawaii in this moment?
In this very moment.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
we're in
are.
Maui.
Yep. We're at home in Maui.
That's great. We're so
Yeah.
excited to have you guys here. So just a reminder that this is for the Bali IIT, where the date is October 24th to November 2nd. And then I'll let Jim and Jori introduce themselves in just a second. And my name is Val. I'm the local organizer in beautiful Bali here. So we'll have a series of Meet the Trainers, actually to help build, connection and community, right, for this event. And hopefully to give you guys a chance to meet all of the trainers and support trainers that will be at the Bali IIT. So yeah, thank you. I think everyone is coming in. That's wonderful. And I see Rena too here. That's so great to see so many familiar faces. So we are recording this event that we'll post on social media. So I did put a little disclaimer, but for the ones that came in a little bit later. So, please be aware that your image and voice will be recorded. So if you choose to turn on your camera or speak on the Zoom call, if you don't want that, please just turn off your camera, change your name, and don't speak during the call. And then you can just post your questions in the chat and just interact this way. So I think that's all I have in terms of housekeeping. So welcome to Jim and Jori. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get started.
Sure.
Well, in this very moment, I am delighted to see you all. I'm so glad you decided to come and play with us. My intention for being here is to build a more and more deep connection, both self-connection and our connection with each other, and create more opportunities for making life more wonderful.
I'll have what she's having.
He has me already.
Yeah.
What can I say? We're husband and wife.
Yeah, I'm Jim, and I'm feeling happy to be here. I think it might be my first Facebook Live event. I'm grateful for Eric's support in making that happen. And I'm really grateful to see all of you here. I know some of you are planning to be at the Bali IIT, and maybe some of you are just still thinking about whether you're coming. I hope we can help you to decide that whether or not it's going to meet your needs to go. That would be one of my aims today, is to help you to trust your own needs around the IIT. And I think the program for our time together, correct me if I'm wrong, Val, but I think we got about 2 hours. Is that right? Is that what people are expecting? 2 hours to play together?
I think we had set up about an hour and a half, but we
Hour
can
and a half,
also
great.
go less if
Hour and a half is good for me.
Yeah.
I just needed to be clear. And during that time, we have a little mini workshop that we want to give you the accelerator to NVC consciousness. And is that way you can just skip the IIT. You'll have everything in the next 35 minutes that you really need to know about NVC to practice it for the rest of your life. But of course, you'll still want to go to the Bali IIT to come play and have fun and practice.
Yeah. And there are other things you would learn there besides.
And then we'll have some time after we go through this brief practice to answer your questions about the IIT or whatever's alive in you. So why don't we just start with just when Jori and I teach, we kind of have a standard pattern. We try to practice all three different modes of nonviolent communication. So starting with some self-connection here in just a moment, and then hopefully there'll be opportunities for both honesty and empathy together today. So self-connection is basically just using nonviolent communication to more deeply connect with your own direct experience right now. So the way that I usually start my self-connection practice is just to look around. Just look around in the room that you're in or the space that you're in. And see if you can relax your neck and relax your willpower, and see if you can let your eyes do the driving. Let your eyes choose where to go, which direction to go. Maybe up or down or behind. And then invite your eyes to find something that they enjoy looking at. And just let yourself rest in that moment of looking at something that makes your life more wonderful. And if you'd like, you can close your eyes and just savor that feeling, that wonderfulness. Notice what that's like in your body. And if your brain is like mine, after about 10 or 15 seconds, my brain gets busy with thinking. So you just notice that happens too. And you can just come back to the body and notice the body. Sometimes it can be helpful to stay with the body by being alert for sensations. Any sensations in your body. And maybe a tingle or tightness, sense of warmth or coolness, openness or constriction. So first you notice, and then it can be really helpful to name it, to name your experience for yourself. And the same thing with emotions. Emotions seem to have more of a richer content than sensations. They have some meaning attached to emotion. So notice the emotions that are arising in you as you consider hanging out for the next hour and 15 minutes or so. Are you curious? Are you open? Are you bored? Eager for something else to happen?
Yes, relax.
What are the emotions that are arising for you? Again, it's great first to notice them, then to name them, and then just see how they keep moving. They arise and then they fall away, kind of like waves at the beach. And then whatever you're noticing now in terms of sensations and emotions, see if you can connect it to your own needs. What's important to you right now? And if you had that, what would that mean to you? How would that contribute? How would that make your life more wonderful? And then one last thing to consider is, what requests could you make of yourself during our time together so that you could get those needs met? Your eyes have been closed. I invite you to open them again and then just look around again, reorient yourself. Use this superpower, this human superpower of observing to help your nervous system to transition from one thing to another. Yeah. And then maybe bring your eyes back to the screen and look at us. Those of us who are back.
All of us.
Maybe we could hear from one or two people about how you're feeling right now after doing this exercise. If you've never been on a Zoom meeting, you can raise your hand. It's a small group, so you could probably do this and we'd see you, but you can also go to the bottom of your screen where it says reactions. You click on that little smiley face and there's a place there where you can raise your hand.
Yeah.
Love to just hear from 2 or 3 people how you are right now after taking a few minutes to be with yourself. That would support me in having a sense of connection with you, and I just love hearing your voice. Yeah.
Ah, there's a hand.
Hey, Benita.
Hi, Benita. There you go. Nope, not there. No, you're still muted. You're muted. There
Yeah,
you
she's
go.
working on it.
Oops.
There you go.
All
Am
right.
I- yeah, Thank you. Yeah, firstly, it's such a joy to be with you, with both of you, Jim and Jori. And secondly, I just realized it's both for me, the self-connection and also being part of the community. So I just realized my last community event was one of the 2 NVC events that happened in Panchgani, and I just realized how much I relish, and I also, my mind actually wandered about being in Bali, and especially also seeing the local host. I was seeing your energy, and I just felt so energized, and I just felt very grateful. What helped me to made me really happy was it's morning in India and the curtains are still drawn, but the sunlight is coming, down from the curtains, and it's like the whole day is waiting, to unfold. So just feeling very grounded and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks for welcoming us to your morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody else want to share your experience?
Hi, it's really nice to be here and to meet you in this space. And I'm really looking forward to being in person in Bali, if that works out. Yeah, I think today I'm very busy. It's just in a class and I think going on. I'm based in Seoul, South Korea. And so I'm in the morning as well. It's like a busy day going already. But when you talked about looking around the room, it really kind of pulled me into this space. And I realized I do so much online and virtually that it's easy to forget about my physicality and where I am and the place that I am. And that I actually have some nice things to look at in my space here. So thank you for drawing my attention to that. And I think I'm going to use that practice even the rest of today, maybe in between my classes and when I'm working on mine.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Glad
Thank
to hear that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of just to give credit where credit is due. I learned this technique from our son, Jiva, who's also a nonviolence trainer, but he learned it from something called organic intelligence, which is kind of like, in a way, it's like it's a somatic experience that really helps to, for me, it has really helped me to make NVC more alive in my body. And so there's these little bitty exercises like that orientation exercise that have really helped to support me in being much more grounded, taking that journey from being here to being more here and more here in my belly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody else have anything you want to share, or shall we practice some more?
Okay.
Okay, so what's this accelerator to NVC consciousness that Jim was talking about? Well, first, what do we mean by NVC consciousness? That's like, we could do a whole IIT about what NVC consciousness means. But I would say that one simple aspect of NVC consciousness for me is interdependence. That here we're all together. We all have the same needs. We all live from a similar palette of emotional experiences. We've all been educated, probably all of us. I haven't met the person yet who wasn't educated in a domination system and has a hangover from what it's like to be educated in a world where people are categorized and diagnosed, and there's rightness and wrongness and goodness and badness of people and so forth. And so we interdependently share all of those experiences. And when we awaken that awareness of our interdependence, that's a big pointer for me towards nonviolent communication consciousness. And of course, we're supported in that through connecting through feelings and needs. And often nonviolent communication training starts with pain. You know, where we seek out workshops or therapists or counselors or social workers or coaches or whatever, because we have something in our life that's not working. NVC works great for that. And I've discovered that the fast lane is to go the other direction, to start by noticing when things are going well.
Yes.
Because it's something about how it primes our nervous system then to have the energy to be with the pain as well. So that's what we'd like to share with you today, is it's a practice of gratitude.
Yeah, it's also about balance. Sometimes we go down the rabbit hole, I call it, where we get lost in things, and to have an anchor that helps us to rebalance ourselves is very helpful.
The other reason that I like talking about gratitude is because it has a lot of neuroscience behind it. It's been a very well-studied emotion now for 50 years or more. And we know the biological and neurological effects of gratitude. And there's no downside to gratitude. And so the more we practice it, the more we set ourselves up for making life more wonderful for ourselves and others. So Jori and I, along with our two co-authors, Jake Gottwals and Jack Lehman, wrote something about, 13 years ago or whatever it is, back in 2006 or 7, called the Pathways to Liberation Matrix of Self-Assessment, and which includes 28 NVC-based skills, one of which is gratitude. And so this slide comes from a course that we teach on that work. But what I like about the slide is, first, I just love the image of what I interpret as Dad helping up the next generation up the steps. And that's what moms and dads and teachers and coaches and trainers do, is we're here to support each other in our journey. And I like the definition that we came up with, finding the value in appreciating and enjoying what is. So notice how the definition brings us to presence. It's about enjoying what is, not what was. And so even though we'll use an observation probably based on the past, the experience that we're going to guide you through is about cultivating presence.
Yeah, we always have some thing that's working for us in every given moment. Sometimes it's just oxygen, or my feet can still be held to the ground. So that's what we're looking at, is to be able to appreciate something, sometimes something very small that helps us ground ourselves to be able to navigate life.
And why would we do that? What's the point? Well, the studies have shown that gratitude is a key to resilience. In other words, life isn't apparently designed so that we always win. Sometimes you win some and you lose some. And losing is often experienced as pain. And then gratitude helps us to bounce back from those painful moments.
Yeah.
Also, gratitude is an antidote for anger. You can, I'm just going to say this, and we're not going to take the time to do it right now, but maybe give yourself a little homework assignment. See if you can feel angry and grateful in the same moment. And if your brain is anything like mine, it's absolutely biologically, neurologically impossible to feel both grateful and gratitude at the same moment.
No, angry and grateful.
Sorry, angry and grateful at the same moment. Thus, that's what makes it such a key to resilience. Also, gratitude's a pipeline to shared power. And what I mean by that is that when we notice what other people are doing that makes our life wonderful, and we have the willingness to honestly share that with them, then they get to see their power. We get to co-enjoy that we all have the power to make life more wonderful. I already mentioned that this is a direct path to NVC consciousness, and I'll leave it up to you by the time we finish this to see if you have that experience. Another important part about gratitude is when you're doing an empathy practice with someone, and often, again, we're listening to people who are in pain, and we're offering our empathic presence to be with them while they're in pain. And there's some kind of magical moment during these empathic encounters that often happens where the person that's in pain shifts. Something about their awareness shifts from what's wrong to what's going well. And as we fine-tune our own ability to connect to gratitude, we can notice that and support the people that we're listening to with empathy. And it gives us some information about when we might make some other choices about how we continue the empathic connection. And finally, I don't know of anything better than gratitude to help to sustain relationships. I'm not talking just about this kind of a relationship, which is a little over 44 years old now. So it's finally reaching some level of maturity. But all relationships at work, with your kids, with your parents, with your neighbor, that when you let other people know about what they're doing that makes your life more wonderful, then that's experienced as food.
Yeah.
Food for their soul.
Yeah. And it's about balance, just being able to get back with your 2 feet on the ground sometimes, or to be able to see the world in its fullness instead of the narrow place that we go to sometimes in our pain.
So if I could rub the magic genie, the practice that I'm about to share with you, you would do it every day between now and the beginning of the IIT. Then arrived at the IIT, you would be so resourced and ready to go. It would really be a transformative experience for all of us. So the exercise is called Cultivating Gratitude. And the first step is just to write down something somebody did that made your life more wonderful. I encourage you to write it down rather than think about it. And it's okay if you just want to think it through, or if you're driving or something like that and you can't really write it down, but writing it down enhances the power of the practice.
Yeah, it makes it deeper, easier to connect to.
And it also gives you practice making observations, or practicing that observation step in NVC. So I'll be quiet now while you write down something specific that somebody did that made your life more wonderful. So this is a chance to practice the clarity between observations and evaluations. So observations is just like what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So if my observation is that Jori made breakfast for us this morning. See, there's just the facts are in that statement. But if I say something like, my lovely wife made a delicious breakfast that, and so on and so forth, with lots of opinion, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just mixing up observations with evaluations. And one of the points of this exercise is to get easy practice in keeping the distinction clear. So check what you wrote, and anything that looks like an opinion, or an evaluation, just note it or cross it out or something like that, so that all that's left is just probably less than 15 words of description.
And it basically are 5 senses, identifying whatever within those 5 senses is your experience. You're seeing, you're tasting, you're touching, you're smelling, just which ones of those were activated.
Any questions about that particular step? Great. Well, when there's no questions, it tells me either that I've totally confused you or you're right with me. And I'm gonna.
I see a hand, I think, over there.
Yeah, Vega, go ahead.
Yes, so this often I face when I write down the observation. I don't feel satisfied because I wanted to say something with evaluation. Then in my perspective, it's not complete. Like for me, I wrote down that when we do this eye orientation exercise, I saw both of you are looking at each other and in loving eyes. So it's my view. And when I just write down, so you are seeing each other, it doesn't give me that completion.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something when we just talk about the observation, sometimes when we miss that evaluation, there's some meaning that is left out. And you want to say something about that?
One of the things that you can add to it just to be able to ground yourself, and I'm telling myself, and just say the words, so that's just expanding the observation a little bit, so you can just ground into it.
That's a great idea. You can say, I noticed that Jim and Jori were looking at into each other's eyes, and I'm telling myself it was a very loving look. Because when we notice what we're thinking, that turns our thoughts into observations. This is actually part of the superhighway to emotional liberation, is to begin to be able to observe your thoughts. Now, with gratitude, it's easy. But if you start mixing in evaluation with criticism, with a situation where your needs have not been met, and you start criticizing or blaming as the kind of the more rich part of the observation and evaluation recipe, it's probably not going to lead to the quality of connection that makes life more wonderful. So that's why we practice trying to tease them out. Not that you would necessarily ever talk like this in the real world, right? It's about kind of getting some exercise for our neurology, for our brain. Thank you, Vega. Anybody else have any questions, or shall we go on to the next step? Okay, well, if you've been doing NVC, you probably already think you know the next step. So let's see if you do. Second step is write down what need that action contributed to. So now people are saying, wait. We just skipped a whole step here. No, this is how I learned gratitude practice from Marshall. You go from the observation to the need.
Yeah. And there's a good reason for it. We'll get to that as well.
So here's a needs chart. It's not the needs list. It's just one that we use. But use your own words to find out what's important to you. how were you fed? So I forgot what breakfast. So what needs of mine were met? Well, obviously sustenance and nurturance, support, cooperation, love. Yeah. So what's it about for you?
So if you have connected to a word that points to something specific, just ask yourself, and if I had that, what's the deeper meaning underneath that? Maybe there isn't one, but just check. And that question, you can ask yourself that a few times and allow yourself to really drill down. When you're really at the need level, the body responds to that. It's like, yeah, that. It's like you've landed, you've grounded into your direct experience. So just check it out for yourself. And if I had that, what would be the deeper meaning of that? And see where it goes.
If you want to share these needs in the chat, that gives us all a chance to empathize with what's alive in you. And also it might stimulate some new needs words that other people haven't considered yet.
So I see someone,
Start here.
yeah,
Cooperation.
cooperation. And you, again, and you may have done this already, but just for everybody else, you check. And if I had cooperation, is there something underneath that, then a deeper meaning or something else deeper in significance?
Connection, trust, affection, community,
Inclusion, safety.
support, cooperation, love, presence, understanding. It's always so much fun for me just to read these. It's really nurturing for me.
Yeah. Deeper meaning being I matter. So mattering.
Interdependence and mutuality.
And also self-worth. Yeah. Those aren't on the list, and yet I imagine as I say those words or you read them, you connect to the depth of congruence, because needs are universal. We have them all. Just hearing a word that is a pointer to a need includes our shared humanity.
Sense of being held, security and freedom, care, love, sustenance, hope, beauty, affection. Yeah. So now as you can stay connected to that need, tune back into the body. Use the power of your consciousness to scan your body and notice first physical sensations in your body as you remember this happening. Emotions that are arising, and gratitude would be an emotion, appreciation. Love love can be a feeling as well as a need. You might feel love. Sometimes any need word can also be a feeling word. We've let go of being the NVC police. We're not going to correct any feeling that you ever say. You have the right to say it, as far as I'm concerned. You can feel whatever you want to feel and use whatever words you want to use to describe it. They're your feelings.
Yeah, the words are just pointers to actually the depth of what you're feeling.
It's important that you feel them, and it can be helpful to name them. So feel them first, then name them, then savor them. This is where the power comes from in this particular exercise, is you just let yourself feel whatever's going on in your body. So when I'm remembering my particular observations about breakfast, and the need was around, let's just say, sustenance and cooperation, and the body-based experience, I still feel a little bit full, even though it was several hours ago. There's a sense of healthy energy because of the quality of the food that Jori provides for us. And yeah, it's just, I can notice my face smiling, remembering the beauty of the fruit on the plate. So it's just like, it creates this wonderful feedback loop as I slow down and let myself savor the feelings. So I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I hope nobody's hungry.
So be quiet for a minute or so while you savor the feelings that are coming alive in you. And then a step that we borrowed from Martin Seligman at the University of Pennsylvania. So this wasn't part of the original gratitude practice that we learned from Marshall. But this really ties up the loose ends for me. Write down what you did that helped to make the action possible. In other words,
your case,
what part did you play? So in my case, a couple things come up. One, I usually go out to the garden in the morning and clip some of the things that go into our breakfast. So I actually participate in a little bit of preparation and all the gardening work that goes into that before and after breakfast. And also I showed up for breakfast.
Yeah.
I showed up with an intention to enjoy it and have fun with my sweetheart.
Yeah.
So
you ate your breakfast.
Yeah. And then I ate. So what did you do that made it possible? One more question, but I want to save it and get some feedback, how you're doing so far with the exercise.
Any questions or anything anybody would like to
share about your emotional experience,
Yeah.
what you're noticing in your body? I see a thumbs up from Deborah.
Where's Deborah? Oh yeah, I didn't see it now.
Nice to see Dorset's face. Wonderful.
Yeah, I love seeing the faces that people are willing to allow us to see.
So how's this exercise landing in you right now? Who would be willing to share? Even if you've already spoken up, your voice is welcome. And if you haven't spoken yet, your voice is welcome as well. What's this exercise like for you? Yeah, Val.
I feel like I'm coming home, right? I'm so excited to have this IIT here, and I feel home again from being surrounded by NVC language, NVC people. It's been a long time. It's been, 4 years without any NVC feelings. And so, yeah, it just feels yummy.
Yummy,
Yeah.
delicious.
Delicious, savoring it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thanks for letting me savor it. Now, notice as you listen to people report their experience, this is your chance to empathize with them. So how much fun is it for me to empathize with Val about her joy? So you can empathize, you can walk with somebody else in their gratitude just as well as you can in their pain. And this actually creates a wonderful pathways in your brain and your body to be even more present than you already are when you're with somebody in pain. Go ahead, Chinky.
Hello. So while doing the exercise, it was like it's a great start for this morning, being grateful. I'm here in the Philippines. And while writing and then feeling the needs that those observations gave me, and then making it like I feel like I belong. But when you ask, okay, looking at this, how did this come about? Then I saw the interconnectedness of things, like being blessings to each other, like the wonderful things that I felt or observed that I got from colleagues or family. Then when I looked deeply into it, I saw, oh, maybe because I also did this, then they reciprocated. So I guess that can also be the interdependence of things. That's what I noticed when we were doing these exercises.
Wow, that's
That's
great.
great. That last part about the self-empowerment. Yeah, yeah, my part, my joy.
And I love how you intuited the next step. So now think about the gift that you received. And how does receiving this gift affect your life from now on?
Mhm.
Not only receiving the gift, but noticing that you received the gift. How does this practice of slowing down and savoring affect your life? So I'll be quiet again while you think about it and maybe make some observations about what you're noticing in your own experience.
I am not very clear with the last one. Can you explain?
Sure.
Yeah, read.
Yeah. So let me give it the example from my own, from my breakfast example. So what's the effect of having this breakfast this morning? Well, for one thing, it primed me to have the energy to do what I needed to do, what I wanted to do this morning in terms of other activities. And so that's the biological effect. There was also, since this is kind of our spiritual practice to have this breakfast together every day, one of the effects is that it deepens our connection.
Mhm.
This is a shared experience, probably 6 out of 7 mornings a week.
At least.
And so it's another effect of receiving this gift is how it leads to a deeper sense of partnership and connection. So does that answer your question?
Yes, so it's I wanted to know how it's different from when I check with knees. So like deeper connection, but this is
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might take you right back to more needs. It might take you right back to the same needs. It might take you to feelings. It might take you to observations. It's just there's something. I actually got the idea for this next question, this last question, from a candidate that I've been working. I'm an assessor, and one of my candidates, Cecilia Landman, she spontaneously started adding this to her gratitude practice. And during her pre-assessment process, she shared it with me. It's like, oh, can I steal that? I want to offer this to everybody to take the time and see the follow-on effects of being able to receive this or any other gift. to see, again, it points to interdependence, sharing power, and so forth. So it's really, it's just added another level of depth for me. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes. And here maybe I can add more details, maybe not the knees.
Yeah,
Right, exactly. Really expand your awareness.
Yeah, because there's a reason we liked this thing. And the reason that we liked it is not only did it contribute to some needs, but it also might have contributed to, it might have fed your mission or your vision. And so then if you notice that something's really working to feed your feed the way you want to live your life, then it's going to prime your brain and your heart to do more of that, to look for more opportunities, because you see the positive effects or the life affirming effects of these strategies in your life. Anybody else have anything you'd like to share about either this step or the effect that you noticed? I see that someone wrote, I got more energy to organize further practice groups. Yeah.
Yay.
Someone else? Okay. So that's really the end of the exercise. Let me just review it again. And this time you'll go through the same exercise again, but without writing. So you'll just be, this time it'll be more like a self-connection or meditation, a contemplation. You can use the same observation if you want to, but it might be even richer if you chose a different one. So first, let's start with intention. First, just check, do you want to do it again? This is completely, of course, optional, like everything in our training. So just check if you want to do the exercise one more time. And if the answer is yes, why? What's your intention for doing the exercise? And then bring your heart and your mind to focus on the present moment as best as you can in order to support self-connection, deepening. Then open to outcome. See if you can become willing to learn something new here. And then think about something that somebody did that made your life more wonderful. Some gift that you received. And make a clear image of the moment you received the gift. Kind of replay the memory like it's a movie. And put yourself, do it from your own first person point of view so you can see the other people involved. You're able to stay in contact with your own body. So you're associating more deeply with your experience, even though you're having a mental experience. You're doing it through your own perceptual position, through seeing through your own eyes. Just watch the movie. It's such an enjoyable movie. You may as well rewind it and push play again. Enjoy some highlights from that wonderful moment. And then consider, without referring to any list, but just simply referring to your own heart, what needs of yours were nourished by receiving that gift? What needs of yours are nourished by receiving that gift? And how do you feel right now, remembering receiving these gifts, having these needs fed? What do you notice in your body right now? Noticing sensations, noticing emotions. Savoring these life-affirming emotions like gratitude, love, appreciation, inspiration, whatever it is for you. Open your heart to letting yourself feel this quality of joy.
Mhm.
Imagine these feelings are like a particularly favorite kind of food or drink, something you really enjoy, and just let yourself fully embrace those feelings. Then ask yourself, what did I do to help make that happen? Where was my power? Did I make a request? Did I just show up? Did I notice? Where was your power? What was the point of your power?
Sometimes it's accepting.
And finally, what's the effect? How does this trickle down into the rest of your life? For bonus point credit, you could think about the person who gave you the gift. Bring them to mind. And just wonder what need might have motivated them to give me that gift. What need of theirs might have motivated them giving the gift that you received? Just make a guess.
These are just some of the words. See where it takes you.
So if I imagine Jori preparing breakfast, I can empathize that she's feeling hungry like me, or she's feeling anticipation of hunger, and that she's needing sustenance just like me, and that she also has a need for contribution and creativity, maybe flow, beauty. I'm just guessing what are some of the needs that might be motivating each choice in this rather complex breakfast that has about 18 ingredients every day. And notice the effect of that empathy as you put the quality of consciousness on the other person's heart. What happens in yours? So to finish up, just look around again. I'll let your brain know we're in a transition zone from one part of our session to the next part. And we're open now to, and I think this is probably true for Val and Eric too. We're willing to listen to any questions you have or comments about the exercise we just did, or anything about the IIT, the upcoming Bali IIT. If there's something that we can do to contribute to your clarity or your excitement about coming, or any of the needs that might be up for you. So the last 20 minutes or so we'll spend answering any questions that are alive. So why don't you take 30 seconds of silence and find out what requests might arise for you. Anybody have any questions, comments, requests?
I was wondering if there'll be a fresh mango on my pillow each night before I go to bed.
Well, I was thinking maybe a mango pit.
Yeah, we'll let that be something Val can answer.
Fresh mango. Sounds delicious. Yeah, maybe Val, tell us a little bit about what the food situation. What do you expect about how the food's going to work out there for us?
Yeah, well, for the food, well, thanks for the question. The food at the Arma, actually, I mean, we have a lot of experience with that, and they've gotten better over the years as we have had 3 Bali IITs. And mango, I don't know if it's mango season. We definitely have a season for mango, which is quite long. So if it's mango season, then we don't have the pomelo. I don't know if you know the pomelo. It's the green, huge, like it's like a mix between orange and grapefruit, but it's so yummy. So if we don't have mango, it'll be pomelo season. So you'll have one of those on your pillow, maybe. We can arrange that. So I can't promise it's the mango season. I don't know it by heart. I just go with the season here. So
and how flexible is the kitchen for specific dietary needs like allergies or vegetarian versus carnivore and stuff like that?
It's super flexible because we have so many different dietary requirements here, and actually Ubud is the mecca of that. So they're so used to it, and they totally, I mean, there's options for everyone. And when, of course, you'll be filling out your form, you ask for your dietary requirements, and we make sure everything is there. I just had a new one a couple of days ago, and it was starch free. So I thought that was an interesting one. Yeah. So, but we're very used to the regular ones, which is lactose and vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. Most restaurants here, even like if you make a reservation in a restaurant, they'll ask you, what are you? So they know your allergies, and so it's really very flowing and smooth here for dietary requirements.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. It's a relief for me. I imagine maybe for some of you as well.
Yeah. So
Who else has a question?
what is your what do you guys like? You guys a vegetarian or what?
I'm what's called a selectarian.
Yeah, selectarian. We have that one too. I like that.
I select whatever I want to eat. Yeah. But we're trying to reduce saturated fat in our diet.
Yeah.
We're at that age where we need to make sure that we don't get clogged arteries and stuff. So we're avoiding high fat items, so we do lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and grains and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
No red meat.
Wonderful.
How about anybody else have any questions about anything about the IIT? This is your chance to get any questions answered about what it's like to be at an IIT, or what the specific facility is like, or
maybe even educate us of what you would like it to be like, so we can actually be influenced by you as well.
Yeah, Fernie.
Yeah.
Hi. I was just wondering, can you just tell us like what it would be like for like the 9 days, like briefly? Jim and Jori, I've been attending your weekly session, and 2 hours is good, but like how are the 9 days and the 2 hours? Is it, yeah, can you explain more? Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, you have a lot of freedom. There are very few have-tos other than whatever the county or the island require. And generally, we have trainings, more than one going on at a time. There's 3 different sections. I think we're doing 3. Sometimes in IITs we do 4, but I think we decided on 3. So that there's more opportunity for actually connecting with each other and also for self-care.
Yeah,
Wanna say
so
anything?
the day at the IIT can be as long as you like it to be. Some people get up before breakfast and they'll be offering yoga classes or meditation or walks in the forest or whatever. And then some people will go until after midnight because they're dancing or practicing empathy or whatever. And so days can be long and thus exhausting. And at first, especially, people don't want to miss anything. And so my encouragement is to plan on missing most things. You will miss almost everything that happens.
That's a little extreme.
No, I mean, if there's 3 classes happening, I'm only going to go to 1. That
That's
means
true.
I'm missing 2.
That's true.
And so just be prepared to miss a lot of stuff, but then you've got each other to talk about it at dinner. So if Fernie, you go to Eric's thing and I go to Rena's thing, we might have a conversation about what's your takeaway? What was your takeaway? And so then we get to do some cross-pollination. And I would say that the most important thing that happens at the IIT are the conversations
Exactly.
that you will have with each other and that you'll have with trainers and other staff members. That opportunity to practice living NVC together is the magic of the IIT.
And also that depth of connection that happens. We're living together. We're working it out together. And there's this sense of family that I experience at an IIT as we get to know each other more and more.
Does that answer your question, Fernie, or do you have a follow-up?
I have a follow-up. So you're saying like they have 3 or 4 classes going on. Is that like at the same time or is it just okay?
Yeah,
At the
so for
same time? So you have to choose?
Lots of opportunity and sometimes a challenge to go, I want to do both. But then you get to talk to some of your friends and find out what they did there. And
yeah, we're inspired by something called open space technology, which we learned about early in the IIT evolution. And that implies some meetings together as a community. So we'll always meet in the morning after breakfast for a community meeting where we'll talk about what's going to be happening for the day and stuff like that. We'll have a remembering. And then we'll always meet together as a whole community in the afternoon before dinner. And that's a chance to celebrate and mourn whatever happened during the day. Then the rest of the day is more self-selected. Different trainers will offer different things at different times. And, it could be that some days we'll choose to all stay together, especially in the very beginning of the IIT. Some IITs I've gone to, we all stay together for the first session or 2, just so that we can start building community, getting to know each other. But also people, the number one regret I hear from people is I tried to do too much.
Yes.
And so if you know going in that you're not going to be able to do everything, then you'll take better care of yourself. You'll realize that your brain actually needs a walk, not another class. You're up to here with observations, feelings, needs, and requests. You want birdsong, or you want the beach. And so trust your needs. Trust the life that comes in you. That if that's the only thing you take away from the IIT, you don't remember anything that Jim or Jori say, but you remember I can trust my own needs. Then you'll have gotten your money's worth.
Yeah, and I'll just add also that I experienced that what they call FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, right? As a participant myself, and I just had to let that go. And also, I wanted to add that the fact that you're in Bali and at the venue that we have prepared for you guys, it's it almost magnifies the intensity of the IIT, if that's ever possible. The feelings, because it's such a special island, and it's I mean, I don't know if you know, I mean, like a lot of people in Bali experience this, there's an energy here, so it almost magnifies what you're feeling. So it's a very special place to have an IIT, and I think that's a lot of the comments I hear often. We have a lot of old participants here, previous participants, that maybe can attest to that as well. So I just wanted to share that. And Eric
Thank
also had a
you.
question.
Can I give an answer? Then I see Vega real quick. Bernie, I'm going to give you the correct answer. So you listen carefully. Okay. I don't know what the schedule is going to be, but here's an example of what the schedule could be. 8 a.m., 7 a.m. you get up to meet your friends for yoga. 8 a.m. you eat. 9 a.m. opening circle. 9:30 or 10 a.m. session 1. You have a choice of 3 things to do. 12 o'clock, you eat again. 1:30, you meet with your empathy group, your home group of 3 or 4 people, and you hang out for an hour and you figure out, you do empathy or you talk about something you did. Then 3 o'clock, you have snacks. And then again, you have another session, maybe at 4 o'clock. Then you eat again at 6 o'clock, and then maybe you have another session. It might be something like that. So you'll have 3 to 4 opportunities to learn from Jim and Jori and Rena and other people. And then you'll have one time, hopefully, with your home group where you learn from each other. And then you have 4 or 5 times to have snacks or eat with all the other friends. So you're going to form all these great little communities. So you'll have about, well, this is what Jim was saying, you'll have the opportunity to miss out on about 6 to 12 sessions and take 3 to 5 a day. And if it's for you like it was for me, I was vibrating so hard the whole time that I only slept 3 to 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night. And so I was awake at 5 a.m. and I couldn't sleep till 12. So that's what it'll be like. Does that help answer your question? Was that the correct answer you were looking for?
I think both. I wasn't looking for like the very specific, but I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
There are some different experiences. I did not have this experience.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Especially
It
in
was
Bali.
different?
No, oh yeah, Bali is completely different.
Oh, man.
It's a totally different energy than LA, for example.
Right.
It's a
And
very
I want to be
calming.
I want to be really, really clear that you're the creator of your experience. We're not creating a structure that you have to follow in. We're creating community and opportunities for you to explore what you want to explore, even if it's just the beach. I just want to go to the beach. You know, I don't care what a trainer's doing right now. To be able to really follow your own heart and to have that level of self-connection that supports you in making the choices that really work for you, moment by moment by moment.
Yeah. Vega, you had something?
Yes, I have questions, but it's very difficult for me to skip the session. Yeah, it's, I think, maybe Korean tendency. I cannot imagine. It's very difficult. Yeah, because you said some people will dance and this and that in the evening. As far as I remember, Arma doesn't have closed space. So I remember that time one person was playing the music after dinner, and they got some complaints from trainers or somebody. So because it's not a closed space in the middle, no? And I remember those other spaces are also quite open with mosquito nets or so. So I wonder it will be really possible or not, because it's important for me.
And the question is whether there will be quiet spaces. Is that what the question is?
No. So if there is a closed space or if it's open space, it will be really possible with all other people there. Yeah.
Are you clear on the question, Belle? Can you answer it?
I think so. I'll ask for more clarity if I'm not clear. Yeah. So it is all open spaces in Bali. Yeah. I didn't experience that it was an issue. I mean, we've had all our events, we had people singing, we even had that, the talent show open, we had many sessions of dancing, and I wasn't aware that there were any complaints. It didn't affect, I mean, we had lots of wonderful sessions of dancing and yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Are you also asking whether there are people who are not part of our group who will be there? Did I understand that?
No, because I remember that one person from New Zealand played the music every evening. And she was a support trainer. And she was telling me some didn't like. Or so, yeah. Anyway, they want some rest, which I can understand. So just wanted to check if there is any other space or it will be really possible.
This is it.
So
no, it's the freedom of this IIT, right? All open.
Right.
Yes.
Not only the freedom of it, but also the opportunity to try and work out things so that work out for everyone. Not one person's needs are more important. We're going to just sing really loud and don't care whether you get sleep or not. No, where can you go to sing? Or where can you go to sleep, which will usually be your bedroom, to make sure that both can possibly happen.
Yeah.
Is that land okay for you? Does that make sense?
Yes, it's fine. I would say thank you.
And Samantha?
Yeah, I just want to quickly check with Valley. There's a museum there, right? Which is a closed space. I think they say Bali Modern Art, and it's not really, I mean, it is Bali Modern Art, but it's closed, yes? We can talk to them about giving that space, maybe for
Yes, the
Valerie?
museum, there's a space in the museum, but we found it to be quite hot, actually. I'm not sure it would be the
Okay.
most conducive
So,
to have the dancing there. Dorset may remember that. We had special fans in that museum. Yeah, and it was quite toasty, if I remember that. So, which is fine for a workshop, but maybe not for a dancing event or something like that.
okay, so if anybody complains, they get the toasty room, yes? Or no, the rest of us have to go to the toasty room. Okay, that's scary.
Yes.
Okay, we see.
Maybe upstairs. I mean, it's a good idea. I will ask Arma to see and look at possibly having some closed spaces. It's not our choice. I mean, it's not our preference here in Bali, but I'm hearing here that on this chat right now that it might be something that you guys are interested in. So I'll look into that. We prefer to live outside in Bali, but my preference is not necessarily everyone's preference, right? So I will definitely look into that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, it's a process of co-creation. So and it really works on our requesting skills. Ask.
Yes.
And when I hear how much is outdoors, it makes me think of six-legged creatures that might want to eat me, and like mosquitoes. And so I plan to bring some mosquito repellent, and I think it might be a good idea for you all to put that into your luggage. I don't want to get vulnerable. They've already figured it out. So I hardly ever get eaten at home, but I know that when I go to a new place, it's like they want to try me out. So do consider bringing some repellent if you don't want to get itchy.
They don't like you?
No, they never bite me anymore.
They bite me.
Yeah, because you're so delicious and sweet.
I see.
Yeah.
We weren't muted.
I know. So we're almost out of time. It's time for one more question if anybody has it.
Hi.
Hi, Doris.
Hi,
Dorset.
I can't find my hand thing. I wanted to put up the hand, but I can't find it. How do you do that? How do people put a hand up?
On the very bottom of the screen, there's a little button that says reactions. Click that and then
okay. Well, sorry, I didn't know what that was, but I can answer a little bit more about that sound thing if you're interested. And, you know, I was the one who had to convey the complaint from a participant to the people in the open space that we're talking about. And it was about a certain time at night, you know, that they wanted to go to sleep and they wanted the music turned off. I think it was about 10:30 or something like that, 10 o'clock. So there was a request from people, because sound travels and the rooms are not that far away from the place where we all meet and where the dancing was going on. And we did consider having dancing in many other places, and really there isn't anywhere else suitable. As you said, Val, the Arma Museum was an enclosed room, therefore had no air. So it would have been great for the sound compressed, you know, not carrying, but it's warm in Bali, and yeah, when there's no breeze and no air and no windows, because the museum was built for maximum wall space, being a painting museum, you know, so there's not so many windows. Yeah, that's that. And what was the other question? The last one? I forget. Anyway.
I was talking about bugs. I talked about bugs.
Oh, bugs, yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, Bali is not, you know, although it's third world, as far as bug repellents and stuff goes, it's first world, and there's loads of chemist shops and there's loads of bug repellent available there. So you really don't have to carry it. If you forget, it's not the end of the world. It's there, tons of it, every brand you can imagine.
Thank you. So my black market plans of just bringing a case of it and making myself rich, probably won't work out. Okay, I got
not gonna happen. No, you could bring one of those electric ones. They'd be good. I think they haven't got so many of those yet. I'm not sure. Maybe they do now. But anyway, it's not a big deal, to be honest. Was it, Val? We didn't really find bugs to be a big problem.
Thank you.
No, but you know, maybe we're used to it too, like Jim was saying. Like they don't bite us anymore. So they don't bite me anymore. So it's possible, because maybe they're busy with others.
They don't react because you've been bitten so many times. Yeah.
No, I mean, they still sometimes, but sometimes they're busy with the newcomers. They know my blood already. So it's possible.
Fresh blood, yeah.
But we don't have too many. Yeah, it's true, because they spray also at the Arma neem. And then there's also a lot of natural plants that, like lemongrass or things like that, that are around that, you know, that are helpful natural things for not having so many mosquitoes. But still, I mean, still you should bring some repellent. Yeah, that's always an issue.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you know, the water there is a river. It's a river that's flowing. It runs right through the whole place. So it's not stagnant water.
Oh, wonderful.
Wonderful. And I see Rena Santrina, you unmuted. Did you want to say something?
So far not. Thank you.
Okay.
I have participated at the IIT on 2019. So I almost know everything about IIT. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess we're done for the day. So just maybe to do a highlight for yourself, to think of one thing that you're grateful for that happened during our time together. What's one gift that you received from hanging out together? And then to consider what need of yours was fed by that. And as you savor that need, allow the feelings to arise in your body and just let yourself feel that gratitude. For me, I feel really warm looking at you all. It feels like we've only been together for an hour and a half, but I'm so looking forward to seeing you all again in a few months. So needs for me for connection and contribution and fun were met, and also community. Yeah.
Yeah. My excitement channel is really up right now as I look at all of you and the excitement of being able to come together and explore and get to know each other more deeply and know ourselves more deeply. And there's so much richness that I look forward to at this IIT.
And Val, what's final words from you?
Yes, just wanted to say a final word that we have the intention and the commitment to try to get 30 people signed up, right? I mean, we have over 120 registrations, but we have only 10 payments. So we have a deadline from CNVC, and we are needing to have 30 people signed up by July 10th. And then so we really are focused on that. And we hope to see you, of course. And so I'll share. I think I'll share the link in there. And then I think Eric also would like to talk about the fundraiser that we're having. That's why Eric is here and helping us, is because Bali and LA are connected. So, and I'm actually from LA, living in Bali too. So, which makes it perfect. So, Eric, do you want to say a few words about that? The fundraiser.
I can tell you're from LA by your accent for sure.
That's right.
We have people living in different places where they didn't grow up for some reason. Yeah, okay, several things. Number one, really important for you to pay and sign up and pay as soon as possible. Number one. Number two, you want to tell all those relatives and friends that you don't get along with, you need them to sign up too. And you especially need all of your enemies to sign up as well, because they need this even more than you do. So get those people to sign up as soon as possible. Number two, you can get them to support you, because we'll be doing a fundraiser in about a month. Leanne King is here and she's organizing the fundraiser with us. We'll be it'll be basically, it's a workshop featuring all of the trainers. If you're fully registered, you can get in for free. If you haven't yet registered, you'll pay your fee, and then whatever you pay can go towards the registration. Okay, so you don't have to pay 1,000 times. That's the idea. So that's going to be about a month, and we'll have presenters, support trainers, and the core trainers. So I hope you'll be able to come to that. And again, tell all your friends, everybody. The last thing is, I think Rena and Mina and I are going to do something in about a week. I think that's the plan. So we'll send you an email. We'd love for you to join us again. And again, there we go, Rena. Yep, Rena. It's Rena's idea. I didn't have anything to do with it. So you'll come to see Rena, Rena and Mina, and we hope to see you in about a week. And we hope that we'll be able to see you almost every week for the next few weeks and get to know you a little bit better. And thanks for inviting me along, Val and Jim and Jori, and Rena. Thanks for inviting me to come back next week. Usually people don't invite me back, so that's great.
Yeah, and a big thank you to Jim and Jori for making this incredible, beautiful, awesome feeling exercise and giving us all of your time here for an hour and a half. So thank you so much. And saving the day with your Zoom room. That was I'm glad we had this exercise, because that was a little stressful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to being able to hang out with each and every one of you. And have a great day.
Aloha, everybody.
Good sleep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Eric, don't sign off quite yet. I just need to stop the recording.
Sure, boss. Okay, I'm going to stop the live feed. I'm going to stop the recording so you can start swearing. There we go. There we go. Oh,
Hang on, I'm still recording. Hold on, give me a second.
yeah.
How do I stop the recording?
Oh, there we go.
Wait, hang on, I have my own recording going.
Yeah.
There we go.